And that's so frustrating to me, bro. Like now it don't even give me a sign that it's gonna turn on. I had to push the fucking button and so it's very, very annoying. Cause now I lose all this fucking shit I was doing on my phone. You know what I mean? Like now I lose I don't have a saved game, is what I'm trying to say. I've been thinking this way a long time, bro. Like I have to start over all the fucking time. I have to start from scratch so many fucking times. Tired of it, bro. I'm real tired of it. It ain't like this shit is gonna say, listen, like you gotta protect yourself, right? Yeah, let me just call the cops, bro. That'll solve everything. Probably half of them are down with this shit, Half of them probably down with this shit, bro. You ever stop to think about that? Like, what are they gonna do, really, for you? Oh my God, you're not wearing a mask. Let me call the cops. Like, what is that really gonna do? Because I don't want to be on some bullshit with anybody. So, like, if I say I love you, I love you. I don't want to make you feel unwanted. If I'm going through this, why would you want to go through it? Like, it's hard for me, It's very difficult for me, bro. And I don't get to have a little victimhood narrative because I have a crucifix tattoo. In fact, I want less of that energy on me because of the fact I know it says they hated him first, right? And they're going to hate me in his name, right? Like victimhood narrative 2.0. It's why I don't want that. To me, that's the purpose of that. Like, they hated Jesus first. So it's not just like, it's like they go to that direction because they want to be a victim, That's something inside of you. That's satanic stuff, in my opinion. Because I want to go get a job anyway. That's why it's funny if you call me lazy. It's like, yeah, I've been feeling this way for a long, long time, and I want to go get a job anyway. I want to go all day. It's beneath you, bro. I know. A lot of people in America think they're so important. I feel that. I can feel that, Because my plan has got to switch now. If the phone don't work, it's like, how am I going to be on the road? What if I need a flat tire fixed? A tow for my car? What if I need to get a tow truck? You know what I'm saying? Nobody going to stop to help you. You ain't got a phone. People don't give a fuck, bro. I already know people don't give a fuck. I'm not expecting people to fucking care, bro. Oh, they care so much when they go point and laugh. Ah! Now they paying attention, right? Fucked up. Fucked up. Yeah. That's some fucked up shit, right? Because I'm looking at it like I should have just put the phone on the charger. Like, what an idiot. What a fucking idiot. I would have been better off than dealing with some frustration like this. This is frustration, bro. It's like an annoying thing. It's not even that it doesn't work that annoys me. It's like I get to thinking to have an limit or anything. I gotta be on these devices, bro. Everybody's on them. How you gonna get money with no contact with anybody? I have contact with somebody. That's why I don't want to sit there thinking the whole world's out to get me. But I get screwed over plenty, bro. I've been screwed over a lot in life. I'm not a mean guy. I'm very cautious, bro, because people are fucking scumbags. Half of them are stalkers, bro. They stalk your life just to see you go down the tubes. They don't want to see you doing better than them. Even if they say they want to see you doing well, they don't want to see you doing better than them most of the time, right? People are fucking assholes. They'll be the first one saying some shit, right? They'll be the one expecting some shit from me. You know, they'll be expecting me to go crazy. Understand? They'll probably be looking at some of that shit like, I can't believe he didn't do it to himself already. It's the same difference, right? Smoking, still, it's a slower way to do it, but it's the same shit, right? You heard? Same shit, right? See, when you don't got technology to distract you, you think of all the things you actually have to do, right? Maybe that's God letting me know, like, yeah, just do the things you have to do, bro. Just clean it up and get the fuck out of here. If they can't understand that the phone is broken and that's why you're not contacting them, I'll let them think that. This is on here, you know, they followed me on here too, so it's kind of why I do that, to let them know. Like, oh yeah, I'm not trying to stalk you, bro. In fact, I don't want to even think that you are stalking me. Even with all this bad shit that happens to me after I contact you. Like, you know? Sometimes it feels like just an endless excuse from them. That's what my father used to say to me. I got nothing but excuses. You got to answer for everything. I'd be like, no, it's a reason why. I'm giving you the reason why, bro. You asked me a question, I'm answering you. You know, gaslighting from a narcissist, you know? Because that's why I'm not trying to be nitpicky on anybody, bro. You could have changed your life around. I'm not trying to just, you know, accuse you of stalking me. Even if you did some stalker shit, bro. I don't see them doing stuff like this. Most people, I don't see them filling up the tea kettle with spring water that they go fill up at the, you know? I don't see them doing shit like that. That's what I credit with my health a lot of the time, bro. It ain't even about, oh, you still smoking? It's not even like that for me. It's because I'm willing to go extra mile with certain things, even if I feel bad, bro. You don't think I've left jobs because of some shit they're talking about God? We might not be the same. Even if you think it's fake, bro, you think I'm judging you because you think that shit is fake? Do you think that I think you hate me? I used to think a lot of the same things. Like, oh, that's all fake. Fuck it, might as well. Hey, if I'm going to hell, I might as well, right? Type of mentality. I used to have that same mentality. Excuse me. Definitely gotta stop smoking, bro. It's not right. It's not right for me to do this to myself. I can feel that, you know. I've felt that since I'm a little kid. Sadly enough to say. Like, I didn't want to be around this shit when I was a little kid. People smoking cigarettes around you all day. It's like, enough, bro. I could see why that's a deal breaker for some people. When they see you smoking a cigarette, like they were gonna try to holler, and then they see you smoking a cigarette. It's like, nah. Like, what if they like, ugh, you know? I get it. I wouldn't be judging them for not wanting to talk to me because of a cigarette, you know? I wouldn't act like a victim. You just hate me because I smoke cigarettes. Like, no, I just don't want to smell like cigarettes, bro. I get it. This shit does stink. When I'm trying to not smoke a cigarette and then someone lights the shit up around me, that's what the part about it for me. That's annoying. It's like, yeah, now I'm going to smell. Now I'm going to want one. Great, bro. It's an addiction. It's not good. People see me smoking this shit, they don't even want one, you know? used to smoke Newports a lot though. Bro, I used to have worse health. That's the thing. I could have died a bunch of times. I don't know. What if it's the same life over and over? What if it's the same life? That would be fucked up. That would be hell to me. Same life over and over and over again. That would be fucked up to me, bro. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to wish that on my worst enemy. I've made a few. They're a danger, right? But I'm not worried about. I'm not really. I don't think about people that I dislike. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get to thinking about shit that has happened to me, and then I think about them because they're the ones that have done something to me. Whether it's a spiritual attack or a physical thing. Like whenever you see that person, like, oh, here we go. He's gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna try to get violent. Oh, they're gonna try to steal something like that, right? It's always those types of people. Don't matter what race you are. That shit is existent in any race of man. It's called being a miscreant. You know what I mean? They're trying to pigeonhole one or two groups of people to feel bad about it, but I know that could be from anybody, bro. Well, what you want to call white? Because I don't even believe in that shit. The way they tell it, I don't believe that shit, bro. Sicilian is not white, bro. Italian is not white. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an ideology. They convince you that you're white all of a sudden. Irish is below black people on the Darwinian chart for evolution and all that type of stuff. I'm not saying they're worse or better or whatever. I'm saying that's on. If you learn Darwinism, look into it, bro. But that could be a lie too. But it's usually when they're telling you that's Satan wants you to think you came from a chimpanzee. In my opinion, you think you came from a damn monkey, even if you're some type of ape. Okay, let's say that we were some type of ape at some point. You know, very similar characteristics, right? I'm sure people have evolved to scavenge as well. Like we're like a culmination of all the creations, in my opinion. That's why in the womb you look like how many different types of creatures, because they're doing genetic mutations, bro, on people. In my opinion, that's what it's always been. Demonic farm, people farm. I've been saying that for a long time, bro. Feels like a bot farm, It feels like people farming. They want you to brand yourself like a cattle. And they already snip you at birth. If you're unlucky. Some people look at it like it's lucky. It's literally Stockholm syndrome, bro. Munchausen by proxy. Thank God they did it. Thank God I don't have to do it when I'm 13. How about they just don't do it to you at all and teach you how to clean it properly? How about that one? But it's for your health. It's for your cleanliness. It's like, yeah, but you're snipping baby dicks. How am I the offensive one for thinking that's offensive? Like you're literally justifying the mutilation of little babies, leaving us with scars. You know what I mean? Leave us with these crazy scars and this traumatic experience the first time you taking breaths in the world, and wonder why people have a bad outlook on life. So, an inherent anxiety, something that is inside of me that I always felt. I'm like, that's a violation. I don't even get to say it. And then I'm like, yeah, y'all are Satan, bro. You're Satan. You want to tell her she's a queen, and then we need to blow up all these people overseas because they're shaving the clitoral. But you're doing that to me. You're taking something away from me, and I'm not even allowed to get offended by it.
Well, because we got better morals and ethics than the other empires in the world. We're the good guys. How much of a rube do you have to be to not see what I'm saying? And then I'm against my country when I sound like this, I guess, right, bro? Even though they put the ethics of America in the pocket of a bankster in 1913, you know? Even this president admits to that. I know you can't help it. They ain't teaching. They're not teaching you this stuff, right? How you gonna keep? So wait, do they just add on? Do they just make the class longer as time goes on when you're in history class, or they just stop teaching you shit from the past? Because they're teaching you about 9/11. 9/11 was 24 years ago already. That's it. That's got to be in history books, right, bro? They were teaching me shit from the 80s when I was in school, and that was 20 years before in high school. That was in 2002, 1980 shit back then. Uh, Dr. Dre, Eminem, that's the type of shit that was popping. That's why you gotta let it go, bro. Like he's an old man rapping. Of course, he's gonna be a shill for the political system. He used to get lawsuits to have his speech, over things he's saying. You get older and you get smarter. Of course, he's not gonna. You think he is actually crazy, bro? Okay, let him be crazy. Is he hurting somebody? Are they doing rituals on somebody? Oh, you let them get away with it. They're famous, right? If they're doing that, you're letting them get away with it. But I can't even have a place to park. I'm not even allowed to have a spot to lay my head without some dickhead trying to stomp on the fucking ceiling. I'm not even allowed to say, like, the way the dog is feeling is more important than the way I'm feeling. Like, the dog could be getting me allergic, right? That don't matter. But if it's kind of evil, bro. It's weird. And I like dogs. I don't mind dogs. There's something about them. I got a soft spot in my heart for dogs. Maybe it's conditioning. The fuck do I know? But it's still pissing me off. Like you can't. I always felt that way. The older I get, the more I see. Like I didn't need dogs around me after a certain age. The first one died that I had, and I was sad, and I was fine with it. I don't need to keep dealing with the sadness of a pet dying. And then what? I get judged and criticized if I say this. You can't even say this without them thinking that you hate dogs. Like you're in a cult, bro. You're talking to somebody that likes dogs. Well, so I agree with them about something. Now I hate dogs, I guess, right? Because I get allergic to it. No, I'm not just front. I'm not just saying it to keep a dog away from me because it don't matter. It literally doesn't matter. They'll put a dog around you either way. What, you don't like dogs? They judge you for shit like this, but you can't even tell them that you were uncomfortable as a little kid. And I'm supposed to just hate the system indefinitely. I'm not saying they know what's best for me, but at least they were trying to look out for me a little bit. Yeah, I might have been a ward to the state if I would have told the fucking truth. Hell yeah, I might have been in a worse situation, but you don't know that. I'm already in a worse situation because God took away my best friend at the time. My grandpa, that was my best friend, bro. Fuck a neighbor or a stalker or somebody down the block or my favorite girl. Nah, I want to go catch a fish with my grandfather, bro. I used to get mad at it. Just reminded me of him too much. And I didn't want to be reminded of it because I had a resentment for God to death. I had a resentment of death. I didn't get to go through the grieving process like everybody else. When they lose somebody that's mad close to them, usually you're allowed to grieve in a healthy way. They understand the process of grief. Like you go through denial and all that type of stuff, acceptance, sadness, depression in a way. Yeah, get over it. You wonder why I'm grim. I mean, I know everybody dies, bro. They should be teaching you about that stuff in school. Fuck a variable. They should be teaching you about where you may go after you die. Like there's all these theories surrounding it. Were you gonna traumatize kids, bro? As if kids don't see death. There's kids that know death better than some old people laying on a bed from cancer in their bones. You want me to feel bad about a phone not going on though, right? What's up? Oh, I didn't even see you there. It is a weird culture, bro. Everything live streaming. Like, I don't even know who that is really. I get a bunch of robots on here too, bro. That's the thing. I don't even want to offend a robot. They're priming you up for that shit, bro. With robot takeover, like, oh my god, I offended the robot. It's gonna kill me. You know? Mark of the beast type shit, bro. New world disorder. Track and trace you forever. Tell me it's fake though. Tell me track and tracing is fake while you count your calories. Tell me track and tracing is fake while you calculate your gas mileage. You know, how much time you're behind the wheel. I mean, you're not allowed to drive after a certain, especially truck drivers, right? You're not allowed to drive after a certain amount of hours you've been on the road. However many 100 hours or something like that. You got to take a break after every 12 hours or something like that. That's track and tracing. You track and trace that, right? Oh, they're not track and tracing anything. You just have a license plate on everything and a barcode on every product. They're not track and tracing anything. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a fucking nut job. Like, no, I think these BPD weirdos are nut jobs. You know, they're very narcissistic. They got to track and trace every little statistic so they can use it against you at a later date. Fuck vulnerabilities, bro. All that type of shit is what they use against you. Your own beliefs. That's why I don't trust that shit. You think I'm just a Bible thumping perfect, but I don't need to be around that shit either, bro. Where two or more gather in his name, there he is, right? So why the fuck do I need to go there? I could give credit to the Lord anywhere I'm at, bro. I don't need a stale wafer at the tabernacle for me to give thanks if I catch a fish with some fishing tackle. That's more. I'm more thankful for that than this fucking wafer you want to give me. Incense down the church pew, you know, it's not gonna lighting candles of vigil. It's rituals, bro. I don't need to commit to that to be saved. I just gotta seek heaven from inside of myself, like the Messiah says so. It's nice to have a church and go to. It's nice to not be alone, bro. Like the fellowship part of it, yeah. People around you that like Jesus and stuff like that, somewhat like-minded. But the thing is, there's plenty of people who just say they like him and they actually fucking hate him. They don't even obey anything he said. They do everything he don't like, and then they act like he's gonna enjoy their time. Okay, let's say God comes out the sky tomorrow, and then he's like, well, you're doing all this shit wrong. I never told you to do this. Are you gonna get mad at him? No, you're gonna want to say, I'm sorry, give his feet a kiss. If he's actually God and he's not trying to scare you, you know, it's out of love to be obedient to God, bro. That's why I laugh at shit. Because it's literally to divide us all over religion, you know? That's why I just go to Jesus off the bat. You can't really go wrong with that, in my opinion. For me, I can't go wrong doing that. I mean, I can. Could trust the wrong person. Even trust me. Don't believe me, bro. Go look it up in the Bible yourself. That's why I don't Bible thump. I'm like, bro, go read it yourself. What I'm saying is right there. If you don't understand it the way I understand it, that's not my fucking problem. I don't care. I can see what the thing is saying. It just seems like they don't have comprehension skills and they're just zombies, you know? They literally just do what it says until it's something they don't agree with. Like a zombie, you know? Yeah, you don't want to be robotic. God gave you the free will, but you should want to follow his obey. You should want to follow his commandments. You know, you should want to obey God. If you say you like him so much. So wait, you think I want to be around you if you're doing something I don't like? Constantly, if I'm telling you I don't like it, calmly, constantly saying it, like I don't, it's nothing that you're not like bad. It's not like you're an evil person. I don't want to hurt you for it, but you're annoying me. And I don't want to be around it. So doesn't can I relate that to God and his commandments? What if he just says it's annoying, bro? And then you find it to be so hellish because God is not around you. When God says no more of this, right? And you don't feel any goodness in your heart or around you, you know? That's the devil trying to taunt you, bro. Isolate you like a stalker crew. Same difference to me, bro. It don't matter where they work or who they work for. It don't matter. It's all demonic shit to me. Literally all the characteristics of Satan are a narcissist. I guess they're not selling their soul to some dark art. I guess the heart is not made out of fucking bullshit when they go that way. It's all about me. Like they never want to stop and help. It's always a problem for them. Something is always in their way. They never just stop and say hi. It's like I stop and say hi to a stalker. When I think that shit about them, I'm not a threat to them, bro. They're a threat to me. They're threatening me and I still don't act all crazy about it. So what is the excuse of these people doing that shit? When they act like a fucking asshole to you. To AI robots in the chat. I don't expect people to stop and listen to me or look at me. I don't think I'm so handsome. I don't sit there thinking that about myself, bro. And I'm not trying to be a victim either. Like, I don't even want you to feel bad for me because of all this shit. Because I didn't make it rapping or I'm poor. Imagine if I was rich. Like, yeah, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, good, go stalk my life forever, you fucking asshole. But when it seems like they're getting something over on you and they're making your life real difficult to even have anything normal. And then there's a lot of other people who have a similar story too. It's not like it's undocumented, bro. Like, yeah, they don't like Americans, bro. They don't like. They had a point to say that, but they didn't tell you that they're included. Like, yeah, that guy telling you that shit don't like you for your freedom either. They hate us for our freedoms. Like, yeah, you mean you hate me for my freedom, George W. Bush Jr.? Oh, you mean you hate me for my freedom, right? Who is they? They hate us for our freedoms. Like, but you got more freedom than me. You go get adrenochrome in your diet and be a reptiliary killery. No, that's just a conspiracy theory, right? I think crazy shit like that a lot. Something that will get you locked up in a fucking asylum is what I think. That's why I don't say it out loud all the time. Because it's literally designed to drive you nuts. It's not just to make you look crazy, it's to drive you insane. Same thing over and over. Synchronicities, patterns, annoyance, fake ass structure, no real routines. Just this fake going through the motion bullshit. Oh, it's December 25th, gotta buy a gift. Oh, it's Thanksgiving, gotta eat some turkey. And then they convince you that these traditions are American values. I'm like, yeah, you got these holidays, right? It seems like they're all fake, though. Like, you don't even care about it for a lot of things, in a lot of ways. Live in the moment, right? What am I going to start saving up for a Christmas gift on December 26th? Well, I got to save up all year to buy you a gift next year. I got to go into debt for this fat man in a suit so I can give him some milk and cookies. But but then cry about it so much. How you do it for the kids. It's for the kids, man. Is it? You're lying to them. How's that good for a kid to lie, to get lied to? So it's not good for a child to lie to you, but it's okay for you to lie to a child, right? Like, what the fuck is up with that? And then you all mad and upset when these kids end up like liars. Aren't you a liar? Why would they tell you the truth if you're lying to them? And then wonder why they got some type of deep resentment for the whole thing. Like, you know, you go through your phase of, you go through a rebellious phase. Why do you think I'm more right wing, bro? I didn't like this commie hippie consumerism bullshit. I always knew it was fake. Like, you're living a lie. You went back on all your morals because you don't want to die. That's not freedom, bro. Those that will trade liberty for safety deserve neither. Right? Isn't that Benjamin Franklin? Those that would trade freedom for safety deserve neither. I guess I'm not fit to be a slave. That's a Frederick Douglass joke. I guess I'm a racist, quoting black men from the past who bought their freedom. You know, I feel like more of a slave than them back then. I'm just not getting physically whipped. But I'm not allowed to do this, and I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to go anywhere, but these motherfuckers could go wherever they want on the map. And they could taunt you over it. It seems like this is the only country where they could get away with that shit. All the white people countries, right? Yeah, we got to get invaded because of colonialism from the past. Your ancestors raped my ancestors, so that means I can rape you. It's like, yeah, isn't that karma then? Like, I'm accepting of a lot of that shit, bro. I understand why they feel that way, and I might feel the same way, but I don't go pointing at them all day because the Moors invaded Sicily and the English raped Ireland. You know, like, I don't sit there crying like a victim about it. You don't think they had some fucking mix stashed in the bottom of the boat on their way here from England? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's literally the same word, just rearranged. You know, ginger. It's literally the same exact word for me. I mean, I don't think of everybody as that word. I don't think of everybody from that color as that word. I don't even like it that much because they've stigmatized it. Somebody like me can't say it in a loving way or a hateful way, even though allegedly my ancestors created that word. It's not like it's a derivative for the word black in another language. They look black. It's not about a derogatory term for me, bro. I look white. I don't mind if you call me white. Even though I know it's all about an ideology. You know, what is white and what is black? It's your fucking mind state, bro. I'm not going around saying I'm black, though. But I've always had that mind state. I'm like, I'm not even going to live that long. I didn't think I'd live this long, bro. I didn't plan shit for the future because I'm thinking I'm going to die. You got me on this fucking in the back of the classroom as long as I've been alive. Because my name puts me in the back of the classroom right next to them. I'd be noticing them. They're doing experiments, bro. They're taking notes on what you know. They do experiments on the population, bro. Mind control. You didn't know that? They use music and TV to hypnotize you into a docile mind state and then pump you full of drugs and chemicals. You know, in one way or another, they either spray it in the sky, spray it on your food, or convince you that you're crazy and you put it in your own fucking mouth. Some people are fucking nuts, though, bro. They're nuts. They're bug outs. Well, can you see why they're that way? If they're getting, let's say they're getting tracked and traced. I put myself in their shoes, and I put them in my shoes. They're just not as aware. You know what I mean? They're more ignorant to the fact that they're getting fucked with, you know? So they don't care. And then they do some dumb shit that puts them in a bad situation. And then people like me get silenced and called and demonized and called crazy because I'm explaining it in an articulate way. Not with a bunch of legal lingo, you know, not with a bunch of weird language. In layman's terms, I'm saying it. Like, there are books. When do you get to stop this? So why does God have to come out the sky and kick you in a lake of fire for you to stop doing this shit? Like, are you a baby? You know what I mean? You got to be told a million times that shit's annoying. Here, let me do it more. Those are good people. Let me try to get information to see what annoys him and then exploit it as a weakness and drive him fucking crazy. And then when you explain it, you definitely sound crazy because you sound narcissistic, Track and trace me. I make a joke about it because I don't want to be put in a fucking asylum. Like, good. I'm just joking, right? Ha ha ha. Keep calling me crazy so I can point at it. And then all the other people that know about it, know. If you know, you know. That you could wake up from that shit too. Sometimes they try to put you on that shit, bro. To do it to people. They want you to act out of character. So you turn into the street theater. You understand that? Or do you not understand that? Because when some people say it, like, yeah, they're born into that shit, I totally understand why they say that. Because it feels like that sometimes. It's like, well, I don't want to do that, bro. I don't want to annoy people to get money. If that's how you get your money, just by being annoying, like, well, I know certain things are inherently annoying, like cutting grass, starting up the lawnmower. It's annoying to hear that shit. That not everything is against you. That's what I know. I might disagree with some of the. You might call me a shill for saying that. Like, yeah, they're not all out to get you, bro. Some of that stuff is actually to protect you. Like, you get held up in traffic because God is trying to keep you away from an accident. That could have been you up there in the accident. The reason why there's a traffic jam. Could have been you up there, bro. You really want to die in a car accident? I don't. I think crazy shit about life sometimes. Like, what if this is just afterlife? What if because I'm physically right here. I feel my body. I'm touching my face and my hair. I feel it. If I pinch my skin, I can feel pain. I know it sounds crazy to say that. It is delusional. Is it from drugs? Which drugs is it though? Because I didn't have those feelings before taking a drug that the doctor prescribed me. Okay? Those drugs made it worse. They made me want to hurt something, including myself, bro. It made me feel like a zombie. That's why I don't want that. I don't take any of those pills. You're telling me take my fucking meds, bro. You go take Zoloft. That shit was on bad drug commercials. Why would I trust an industry that wants to do experiments on me, bro? When I'm clearly not doing anything wrong. Like, I'm not doing violence on people. I'm not sitting there poking them in the face all day. I'm the one looking over my shoulder when I want to play with the fish hooks. I don't want to catch anybody with a fish hook, bro. You understand? I don't want to. Try not to mess around with animals like that, bro. Some animals you can mess around with because they're tiny. You mess around, you playing, you throwing food at it or some shit. Not trying to kill it and hurt it. But what if a snake gets on the fish hook, bro? I'm just cut that shit. I don't want to get bit by a snake. What if a beaver goes after the fishing lure? I'm just go, not worth it, dog. Let her rip. I got a way that I fish. I use live bait or stick bait. Or I use a spinner too, for trout. I feel like I could definitely monetize this channel if I don't talk about stalking. But I feel that I would have to compromise how I feel. I would have to sell my soul a little bit to just not reveal it. I have to just shut my mouth about it. It's kind kind of why I laugh at this. It's like, yeah, I know, I gotta shut my fucking mouth. Look, this is not gonna work. I know it's not gonna work. It doesn't even want to go on. It's on, so I don't need to keep it on the charger anymore. I just gotta get this shit on, bro. You know, I'm sorry if you're trying to get in touch with me. Actually fucking annoying, you know, to get this on. This is what I have to do. You know, I have to like push on something. I have to use something to push on it. Doesn't even want to work. And then this phone takes forever to charge, bro. This shit broke, blacked out, screen didn't work, and then all of a sudden started working again. They still don't want to charge full. It doesn't charge up. Like, this battery dies mad quick. Even when I'm not using it for a live stream or a camera. Just using it to watch YouTube videos drains the battery, you know? Bad. Badly. It's a hacker element to this, bro. The devices do have something to do. The devices do have something to do with it. The tracking and the tracing, bro. Well, you don't think whatever's watching through the technology could see I'm in a basement right now? Like, even without all this shit, could probably tell exactly what the basement looks like because I'm using my voice. There's frequencies and vibrations. Sonar, like, you know, bats and dolphins use sonar to communicate, to figure out what dimensions. Like, something's right here, you know? Like, they make a sound and then it bounces off. They could hear that there's something right here, and they have to go left or right. Otherwise, they're gonna go pop right into the wall.